I'm Peggy Peck, MedPage Today, reporting from the American Heart Association Scientific Sessions in New Orleans, where we heard that exercise in heart failure patients did improve quality of life, as Dr. Pina explains here.
The goal of clinicians treating heart failure patients is to help them feel better, to prolong life, but also to improve quality of life. Our objective in the HF Action trial was to examine the impact of aerobic exercise training on health status using a well-validated disease-specific measure in patients with stable chronic heart failure, New York Heart Class 2 through 4, due to systolic dysfunction. Our hypothesis was that exercise training would significantly improve the health status of patients in the training arm compared to usual care alone. The health status instrument that we chose was the Kansas City Cardiomyopathy Questionnaire, also known as the KCCQ, which consists of a 23-item self-administered disease-specific measure of health status, which also includes subscales as seen here of physical limitation, symptoms, quality of life, and social limitations, among others. It was administered at baseline, at 3-month intervals for the first year, and then annually up to 4 years. The KCCQ is scored on a 0 to 100 scale. The higher the score, the better the health status. 5 points on this scale, either within patients or between groups, has generally been considered clinically significant as it corresponded to cardiologist rating of small changes in health status over 6 weeks in a previous study. On this slide, we show the results of our primary analysis, using a linear mixed effects model to predict the underlying health trajectory for each patient. What I'm showing here is the average underlying health status trajectory for patients in each arm. The x-axis shows time in months, and the y-axis shows the KCCQ score. In the exercise arm, which is depicted by the solid green line, patients' health status improved 5 points on average at 3 months, and this improvement was sustained across time. The red dotted line represents the usual care arm. As you can note, health status for the patients in the usual care group also increased, though not as much. On average, there was a 3-point increase at 3 months, and this was also sustained over time. The overall treatment effect, that is the difference between trajectories by treatment group, was significant with a p-value of 0.001. This result supports our primary hypothesis that exercise training significantly improves health status when compared to usual care. Furthermore, this improvement happened early by 3 months, and the 2-point arm difference was significant. Importantly, there was no attenuation of this early benefit to the end of the study. The p-value for the difference in the slopes during this time was not significant. There were similar patterns for the KCCQ scales that I have spoken of before, with significant early change occurring as here and was also sustained over time. The overall treatment effect was significant for the 4 subscales that we analyzed at a p-value of less than 0.02. This slide uses the same model that we showed to predict change, and it shows that at 3 months, 54% of the patients in the exercise arm had a clinically meaningful improvement compared to 28% of patients in the usual care. The difference of 26% was significant. Improvement was associated with exercise training and occurred early during supervised training and was sustained. And the results were consistent among subgroups. In conclusion, these findings are consistent with safety and the benefits of exercise training in reducing clinical outcomes, further supporting its use in this population.
So to sum up, in HF Action, the positive findings really tell us more about lifestyle than they do about clinical outcomes. I'm Peggy Peck, MedPage Today.